Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your end of August 2022 general tarot update. It's Raina here. Let's see. Pick something complete. Ooh. I'm looking. It looks like there's a piece of cilantro on this. I don't know. Something. It's funny that I get the death card because you had a full moon that I felt was very powerful. I think it was the most powerful supermoon of the year, the biggest supermoon. And then I get that death card, so suffice it to say, okay. Okay, let's see here. So the heart of the matter is the Four of Cups. As you can see by the body language of this individual, the person is not satisfied with what they're being offered. What are they being offered? They're being offered a cup which is connected to the water signs, is connected to emotions. And so this is a card of dissatisfaction. Although I've heard actually positive interpretations for the Four of Cups, that it can be the stabilization of emotions, which makes sense because the number 4 is connected to Saturn, which happens to be your ruler, but that sense of foundations. So maybe a love that's less passionate, but is more anchoring and that kind of thing. But then why do they always show kind of like a negative image here? It's possible that you are in a situation that you should be happy about. Maybe you're in a job that pays a decent wage, or maybe with Capricorn, I could see something like that, or maybe you are some kind of profession that everybody oohs and ahs over. You're an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, and it's some kind of a high status, and yet you're unsatisfied with it. I'm one of those, I guess one of my specialties here is to encourage people not to fall into that trap, because living your life to impress others is a dead end as far as I'm concerned. It's not your purpose. It's not your passion. So what is the point? It's the ego, right? At the end of the day. Or conforming to something that you think is going to make you accepted by others. There, you know, like the Capricorn person who yearns to be an artist, who yearns to do something creative, but is pushing it away. Yeah, I mean, even that, the cloud, it's so funny because I'm saying, well, what does a cloud have to do with it? And I always think of the universe offering something. So if you have artistic talent and you're pushing it away because, or intuitive gifts and your healing gifts, you're pushing them away because you think that those aren't real professions. I could see a Capricorn person doing that because they still have that, maybe you have that hive mind, that plugged into the matrix thinking, where you're not thinking for yourself. You're conditioned by what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. And that's something that's a hurdle that you'll have to get over. And also with relationships, it goes without saying that this can be feeling dissatisfied with a particular relationship. In the past position, we have the Death card. Again, you know, I reference that full moon in your sign because that can bring things to a culmination. And it's important, I like to say culmination instead of ending. It might be a synonym, but I think of this thing that had different points. Maybe there were times in this connection with another person that were fulfilling, that were, you know, mutually beneficial, and then it went into a phase where it was no longer the case. And if you look at relationships like you look at anything else in life, and you say, okay, you know what? In order for this to be a healthy relationship, and healthy is kind of a psychobabble word, but something that is good for me, it has to be where that person is helping me to expand and I'm helping them to expand. It can't be like one-sided where I'm helping them and they're draining me, or vice versa. And sometimes people are wonderful individuals, but they're no longer serving your expansion. Like, you have reached that limit. And being able to identify that is very important. The Death card is connected to the sign of Scorpio. So, Scorpio is about transformation. That's why death is associated with it. The 8th house. And the 8th house has this connection to the occult, so astrology can fit into that. The tarot, but also healing. That in order to transform, you have to heal. And that's the specialty of this, of Scorpio and the energy. So anything that's an ending is opening the door for something greater than what came before it. The higher message is the Lover's card. This is a card of intimacy. Obviously, they're naked, so you're thinking of physical intimacy, but also more importantly, the emotional connection. And I say more importantly because it's easier to form a physical connection, to forge a physical connection than an emotional one. It just is. You can have a one-night stand, in a drop of a hat. You can't have an emotional connection with another human being instantaneously. There has to be that mutual trust that develops. And also the Lover's card is about a choice that you might have to make. So it might have something to do with letting something go that is already gone. What crosses you is the King of Cups. So this could be somebody that, maybe this is a Scorpio person that is problematic. I don't know. But yeah, the cups are the water signs. So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. This is in the challenge position. So that could mean that this person is manipulative. When people manipulate, they're trying to get something. So if you are dealing with somebody who is narcissistic, for instance, maybe they're not a full-blown narcissist, but they just have this tendency to try to, they tend to be self-absorbed, and they're always looking for the other person to fill them up. This can lead to the dissatisfaction that I have in that central card, because you feel as if you give and give, and that person isn't growing, is just taking. And I'm not talking about material giving. I'm talking about that emotional emphasis that you may be trying to help somebody see their value, but it's very draining for you, and it feels thankless. This can also be the influence of a father who maybe didn't live up to his own, I was going to say his own ideals, but I meant his own ambitions, what he was supposed to in life. And he may have been an alcoholic. He may have also been a manipulative person. And, you know, it's interesting because Capricorn is the sign of the father. Saturn, the ruler, is the father and the authority figure. And so if a Capricorn, person does not have a strong father or does not have their father in their life, they can really feel it, especially acutely. As a woman, I'm a big cheerleader for men, and I always say men can't be erased. Do not erase men. Fathers matter in children's lives. So if you are a grown-up Capricorn who didn't have that guidance, you can give that to yourself. And that's the beautiful thing is that because I don't believe that, I'm not trying to say that, oh, if you didn't have a father that was strong in your life, then you are doomed to being weak yourself. That's not what I mean. I just am not doing the opposite thing, which is minimizing fathers. This can show up sometimes as falling in love with the wrong people, maybe looking for love in all the wrong places. Isn't that a country song? And even within yourself, maybe you have to open up that heart chakra. Perhaps you have been too closed in. Capricorn is an earth sign, so emotions may be something you're leery about because they seems hard to control. And things that are controllable are a lot more safe. I'm laughing because what's coming in is the Four of Pentacles. This should be, I just get a kick out of this card. Now, this is the classic Rider-Waite deck, and Pamela Coleman-Smith really nailed it with this depiction, because look, the person even has pentacles on their foot. It's like holding on to money. That's something that Capricorns do quite well. This can be sound money management, financial security, but sometimes holding on too tightly to money. So for instance, if this is some kind of situation where, this is kind of strange, but I'm sure this happens, where if there's like an actual physical death, that of someone like you have become a widow or widower, you may have had ambivalent feelings about that individual. You may not have even had like necessarily a good relationship with that person. So it complicates things because you may still feel the pain from the loss, but it wasn't like you were this person who was in love with your partner. And the Four of Pentacles can be this what I would call, and I was going to say an emotional reaction, but it's a way that a person deals with loss by holding on to things that are tangible. And just in general, I mean, any kind of situation where if you have gotten divorced, and whether or not you were really involved in the relationship, it might have been that you didn't care about the relationship, you weren't feeling fulfilled, but the other person was the one who actually took the steps to end it. And so then you were like, whoa, wait a second. So the Four of Pentacles is how much does the material override the emotional in your life? Maybe you're putting too much emphasis on the material, especially if you're in a type of career that is not feeding you. that is actually draining you. Oh, well, here we go. The outcome, the High Priestess, it really has this, mystical side to it. To me, this is like the feminine version of the Hermit. Tuning in to your higher self and what it is that you need, that maybe you can't see in this moment, but that you truly need in your life. The High Priestess is all about embracing the spiritual. Maybe that you need to embrace the spiritual versus the material. We need money. I have a lot of earth in my chart, even though I'm a Sag. We need money. This is part of our journey in this material world. So I'm not one of those people that is saying, oh yes, we should just barter for everything and we'll be fine. Maybe at some point that will be more of our path, but right now we need money, but how much and at what price is the real question. Because we're only here for a certain amount of time. Just keep that in mind. So anything, if you're spending your days and you might be working 40 hours a week and you're doing something that is completely alien to your soul for the money. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you just feel like you're doing time, you don't feel like you're living, don't sublimate that. Don't, try to rationalize it, because it is irrational to, to give away your life for something elusive like security. What does that really mean at the end of the day? Okay, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.